This is a stimulus update and daily news report. I got some important updates to share with you. A new bill is headed to Congress to avoid a disaster. Stocks bounced when October's US Consumer Price Index came in below expectations earlier this month, as investors began to bet on an easing of the Federal Reserve's aggressive interest rate hikes, while most economists expect a significant general decline in headline inflation rates for 2023. Many people are doubtful that this will herald a fundamental inflationary trend. So basically what's going on here is because of some relatively recent good economic news, the inflation rate is going down, but still really high. Almost all the economists and everyone is saying it is going to stay for a while. So we are getting some back and forth going on there. Regardless, a lot of people are suffering and a lot of people are struggling due to the high prices, and things are about to get a lot worse. So Biden urges Congress to pass legislation to avert nationwide railroad strikes. The president warned lawmakers that failing to approve the tentative labor agreement could devastate the economy just weeks before Christmas. This is really tough timing because railroads, I don't think people realize how important they are. They connect a lot of goods across the entire country. And on Monday, President Biden called that the railroad workers are about to strike. Not striking yet, but they want their demands met. But President Biden says a labor deal needs to be approved. And House Nancy Pelosi and Kevin McCarthy said today that there's going to be a bill potentially voted on for this agreement to be made so that the railroad workers will not strike because it will be really bad. But that bill may not be good enough for a lot of people, including Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders says tentative rail agreement doesn't go far enough. Bernie Sanders calls on Congress to avoid the strike and do much better. So the strike could begin on December the 9th if management and labor negotiators do not agree on a deal. What Bernie Sanders said here is, I would like to see management come to the table and treat their workers with respect. If they don't, then Congress has got to act to make sure that there is guaranteed sick leave for these workers. Let's see what Bernie Sanders has to say. In this instance, as a result of long-standing legislation, Congress has the power to come up with an agreement in order to protect the American economy, and the president is right. The economy could be hurt by your strike. I don't know if anybody wants to see a strike, but here's the bottom line. The bottom line is that the American people and workers throughout this country are profoundly disgusted by the kind of corporate greed that we are seeing. Everybody knows billionaires are getting richer, working people are struggling, corporate profits are at an all-time high, and they are raising prices to make goods unaffordable for ordinary Americans. That's the overall reality. And what you are seeing in the rail industry is that whole phenomenon in spades. In the last 3 quarters of this year alone, the railroad industry made $21 billion in profits, provided $25 billion in stock buybacks and dividends. And they are paying their CEOs in some cases $14 million a year, $10 million a year, $20 million a year, whatever it may be. Meanwhile, workers on the railroads have zero guaranteed sick leave. If somebody comes down with COVID tomorrow, they're gonna get penalized because they don't come into work. Somebody that's having a baby can't go to their wife's side. So what we all fighting for, and I think we stand a reasonable chance to succeed, is to take the president's agreement that the president and labor secretary negotiated and add 7 days of paid guaranteed sick leave to that. And what I'm hearing is not only is that going to be taken up in the House tomorrow, I'm hearing that there's strong or at least some Republican support for it in the Senate. Also, there's a Dear Colleague letter out from Speaker Pelosi about the votes tomorrow, and they are saying there will be 2 votes. a vote on the deal, and a vote on 7 days of paid sick leave. But can Bernie get 10 votes from them? He said, "Who knows? You have a number of Republicans to be supportive of the working class. Well, if you are a supporter of the working class, how are you going to vote against the proposal, which provides guaranteed paid sick leave to work as a web?" So I am cautiously optimistic that we can get this done. So what are your thoughts on Bernie Sanders? Do you agree with them or disagree with them? Can Congress do more to help our railroad workers? Let me know your thoughts on that. Also, when it comes to stimulus, some teachers in the Fort Smith School District of Arkansas will receive a one-time bonus check of $1,500 in just 2 weeks. The bonus checks, which are designed to provide relief to veteran teachers who worked during the COVID-19 pandemic, were approved in May by the school board and are set to be delivered by December 15th. Also, in SAS Domestic Lottery, where 200,000 desperate Americans hope for $500 monthly cash in Cook County, more than 180,000 cash-strapped Americans frantically submitted applications for a guaranteed income scheme that would see them pocket monthly $800 checks for 2 years. But desperate applicants in Cook County, Illinois, faced a waiting game and thousands has been left disappointed as only 3,250 votes were randomly selected for the cash in a lottery. Next, in Boise, Idaho, they recently announced that homeowners are eligible for a statewide circuit breaker property tax program, which will be able to apply for the Boise Property Tax Rebate Program from December the 1st. So it looks like this program could give rebates of up to $1,500 on a home and up to 1 acre of land for eligible residents. Applications will last until May the 1st, 2023 to get up to $1,500. As you notice, a lot of these stimulus programs or rebate programs, they are getting more specific, more defined, not as broad as they were before. And that is all the news that I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching.